right, family, welcome back. Welcome back. It's your boy Cut Nice 50, and this is one-on-one with Cut Nice 50. Hey, today we're going to talk about. I was watching an old video I made, I never posted, on Arnold Schwarzenegger. When you read the media and something like that, they make it seems like he said something obscene. He already had that comment during the pandemic about screw your freedoms. But you look into it, certain things was taken out of context. But I do personally believe that he was wrong in that statement because of the information, but you only got to go with what you're told and the information that you receive. Just like millions of people around the world during that time, they thought the same way. So I didn't hold it against him, or I didn't cancel him, and I don't believe in canceling people anyway. But it was another article after I watched his documentary on Netflix, which was amazing, man. I'm a big fan of Arnold. I've been following his career since Conan the Barbarian, Commando, you name it. And y'all know I was in the running for Mr. Health and Fitness this year. We made it to quarterfinals. And it was always like following his footsteps. I bodybuilding, I'm all into health, fitness, wellness, nutrition, training, weightlifting. And Arnold was one of my inspirations coming up as a kid because he pretty much came from nothing. If you know his story, you'll understand. But with that being said, man, I seen an article and they tried to make it seem like maybe they were slandering, maybe they didn't like his his Netflix doc, that he said something obscene about heaven. But I read the whole article. I did a video on it. I'm gonna let y'all see it, share your thoughts, let me know what you think. And then just go from there, man. But it made it seem like he had some obscene, or his thoughts on heaven was like he didn't believe it. But you watch the video, let me know what you think. I read the whole thing in context, and I can see where he coming from. Everybody have their own personal beliefs. Some people believe in life after death. Some people believe there is not no heaven and we're just living now. Some people believe in parallel dimensions, alternate earths, you name it. It's a whole ram of things, reincarnation. There's so many beliefs out there. I have my own personal beliefs, but I do believe in the Heavenly Father and all that. So but I'm not like most of these other people that they say are hypocrites. They believe in one thing, but then they judge people, criticize them, and things of that. So I see why people are confused these days with religion, with faith, with just perceptions in life, because we don't have all the information. So it's truly a guessing game. But for me, faith is not a choice. It's something that's built in me. It's something that I always believe because I've been close to death too many times to deny that I have somebody watching out for me. So, but that's just my own thing. I've been shot, stabbed, you name it, and hit by a car, and I'm still here. And it's not just by luck. So you can believe whatever you want to believe. I'm never gonna force my beliefs when it comes to it, and I ain't gonna judge nobody for believing in whatever. As long as you believe in something, then that's all. So, with that being said, man, we're gonna go in this video. Share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Welcome back. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Hit the link in the description below. Find out what all we have to offer, man. Y'all know I'm big on mental health. Y'all know we're partnering with Envision You. We got a whole lot of stuff coming, especially in 2024. Hey, I'm going to OCB, Natural Bodybuilding, or a Natural Bodybuilding Federation. So I'll be stepping back on stage next year. So it's time to get it started, people. It's time to crank up New Transformation BFIC Challenge in progress. Let's go. Now, what I'm looking at is as soon as I go to New York Post, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a poser before Terminator, Linda Hamilton, and that was on June 9, 2023. Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger have appeared in several films in the Terminator franchise beginning in 1984. As I go through his next one, Arnold Schwarzenegger reveals his Nazi father's strange voice. So when I seen that title, this is the second one, I was like, okay, well, it makes sense if he have skewed beliefs of heaven going through his upbringing and stuff like that. But personally, I think that Arnold have a little bit more faith because of how successful he got being an immigrant coming to the States and being one of the most well-known prominent figures in bodybuilding, influential, you name it, from movies. I think he got a new TV show on Netflix, FUBAR, and I'm starting to watch that with the missus, and it's already amazing. I like it so far. So as you can see, I am a fan of Arnold, and I'm not going to pass judgment or whatever the case, just based on that. I'm just reading the article with you guys
to see my first impression and my take, even though I've seen a couple minutes of KD's video. So this one, Arnold Schwarzenegger reveals his Nazi father's strange voice. That was on June 6, 2023. He would scream at 3 in the morning, and we would wake up and our hearts were pounding because we knew that meant the actor recalled. So I guess still to this day, he was sleeping, he waking up screaming and stuff like that at night, having nightmares from the trauma in his childhood. And that could have been a driving motivation to make him one of the best bodybuilders in history. We all have trauma. We all have our driving force, motivation, inspiration, you name it. We all have that force inside us that's going to push us to keep going no matter what. Myself, my energy is always positive. Working out has always been my niche. But I had guys like Arnold to motivate me because I seen him coming from nothing to something. Even though he was already, I guess, doing the Conan and stuff like that coming up. I seen this guy, heard this story that he was an immigrant and he pretty much migrated to the U.S. with nothing, no money, no anything. And he worked his way into the top of the game. And look at what he got now. His Arnold Classic is, to me, the best show in the world because it's not just one, it's worldwide. Olympia is just here in the United States, but the Arnold Classic is multiple Arnold Classics all around the world. So you just take that into consideration when I said his shows is one of the best in the world. And the prize money now is competing with the Olympia. But share your thoughts on that. Let me know what you think. Now let's go to the third article. It says, Archie tells Danny DeVito heaven is a fantasy, and anyone that tells you something else is a F king liar. And that's June 6th, also at 4:28 a.m. The reality is that we won't see each other again after we're gone, the Terminator actor said. Now, this is the article I think my guy was talking about right here, Russian. And I'm going to go ahead and click that one. I'm going to go into it, but I'm just going to go ahead down a couple of the other these article titles. Like I said, I'm going to have this link in the post and see what is going on. I don't know if this article so far is bashing Arnold or not. I'm just reading the topic. So the next one is why Marie Shriver flipped out when Arnold Schwarzenegger told her he was running for governor. The football actor served 2 terms as the governor of California before leaving office in 2011. Around the same time, Shriver filed for divorce. So I guess that's his ex-wife. She telling her side of the story when she flipped out when he said he was running for governor. And, you know, that was something that was unexpected. But with the influence he had, I knew he was going to win, you know. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, this is the next article, admits moment he crushed Marie Shriver with love child reveal. Now, I ain't even know anything about this one either, but this is June 5th. In the upcoming Netflix special, Arnold, the former California governor, reveals the shocking reason he confessed to Shriver. So I guess Arnold, I know he has kids. He had a love child out of wedlock, or he just would be, I don't know if the child was out of wedlock or not, or how long he was married to her. But he revealed to her that he had another child, and that probably was ultimately led to the divorce. But the next article, Arnold Schwarzenegger, kids meet his 5 children and their mothers. Now, Arnold has 5 children and their mothers, so I wonder if they have the same mothers or not. Comment if you know below. The actor shares Catherine, Christina, Patrick, and Christopher with ex-wife Maria Shriver. Kathleen with ex-wife Marie Shriver, as well as Joseph with former housekeeper Mildred Benea. So I did know the Joseph guy, and he does look like Arnold. He takes on his physique and all this and that. I just didn't know that that was his housekeeper's son. So I did know that information. It must have slipped my mind, or I just didn't care, being a bigger fan that who his mother was at the time, whatever the case. And he is younger. The rest of the kids is older. And I guess they are by his wife. Next article, Arnold Schwarzenegger details the moment he told Crush Marie Shriver about affair with housekeeper. Conversations occurred during the counseling session with a Terminator star confirming that he fathered their housekeeper's Mildred son, Joseph. And like I said, cheating, man, is that's a hard pill to swallow, especially with your housekeeper, somebody who's always in the house and around and stuff like that. But it is common. I hear that a lot, stuff like that. We used to watch TV shows back in the day. And either a rich guy or whatever the case, you see him with a pretty housekeeper or something like that of that nature. And it could have been comedy, but like I say, or a drama series, we've seen it all coming up. If you've seen TV shows back in the day about the same thing, you think I Dream of Jeannie, she was attractive young lady and things of that nature, but they always was kind of attractive. So that's how I kind of thought it was coming up. You got to have an attractive housekeeper. If you are rich or wealthy and of that nature, you want to have someone pretty to look at. But as you can see, this is what happens. So I think it is always a little bit of realistic undertone of things we see on TV. Maybe you don't believe it, but that's what I believe. The next Arnold Schwarzenegger gives touching tribute to fellow action star Bruce Willis. And that Bruce is another one of my favorite actors out there, especially when it comes to acting, action. And if you don't know his situation, he's going through condition, memory loss, and things of his nature. I think his ex-wife always talk about it online things. But I think that he will always be remembered as a great, great star, the Terminator actor said of his long time pal. And Bruce, man, I always wanted him to keep doing something, but there's a memory loss. He retired from acting and went from there. Next article, Arnold Schwarzenegger warns of steroid abuse dangers. People are dying. And like I said, this is May 28th. So seems like New York Post is going in on Arnold, and it just keeps going on and on. I think it's like 3 more articles. But I want to go ahead into the article that I was already telling. I'm gonna have this link. Y'all check them out for yourself. Comment. Let me know what you think of these articles or what the New York Post is really saying about Arnold. Did he cross the line somewhere? But I ain't seen the newspaper or stuff like this go in on nobody like they going in on Arnold right here. But the heaven one is got me a little bit of interest. So Arnold Schwarzenegger says heaven is a fantasy. Anyone that tells you something else is an F-king liar. So Arnold Schwarzenegger thinks the idea of heaven is just a fantasy. Terminator star 75 spoke about, let me close this little ad. 75-year-old actor spoke about his thoughts on what happens after death after actor Danny DeVito, who is 78, posed the question, what's in the future for us? It reminds me of Howard Stern's question to me, tell me, Governor, what happens to us when we die? I said, nothing. You're 6 feet under. Anyone that tells you something else is an F-king liar, Schwarzenegger said in a conversation for Interview magazine. So he was doing a magazine with Danny DeVito, and Danny is one of my guys too, man. I don't think y'all remember that one with Martin Lawrence he did. It was a comedy, and Martin was a robber in there, and he robbed Martin, and they was going back and forth, ended up being friends and stuff like that. Danny DeVito was rich, cheating on his wife, like you said before. But the comedy was a good movie, man. I kind of like it. I mean, it was funny. If you know the name of it, I can't think of it. Money Heist? They wasn't Money Heist. It wasn't Money Talks. I can't think of the name right now while I'm doing it. I don't want to take up too much time, but that movie was funny. I might even go back and watch that one because Danny was my guy. But let's go ahead and continue. I said, we don't know what happens with the soul and all this spiritual stuff that I'm not an expert in, but I know that the body, as we see each other now, we would never see each other again like that. The Predator star admitted that speaking about death makes him uncomfortable. So when I watched my guy Russian, the Christian rap artist video, I didn't get, I guess, the whole story with this. It just seems like Arnold was saying he don't believe in heaven and stuff like this. And that's just, I mean, what he's saying is actually true if you think about it. When we pass from this earth in our physical form, we're not going to see each other like that no more, because your body is gone. You're in the spirit form. So, I mean, it actually is right when you look at the context of it. But just like all the bashing we see on TV and now on YouTube, Instagram, with certain people, they like to bring negativity into the world and things of that nature. You don't have the whole contents, and we still speculate. We like drama, and that's true with a lot of things, but we like to speculate, and we don't have the whole story. And, you know, all of us do it. All of us are guilty of it. But I still, even if I speculate, I'm not looking for the negative side. My first impression is always think about the positive side first. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and read that one more time just so I can make sure I'm not overseeing anything. Like he told me, it reminds him of Howard Stern. The question, tell me, Governor, what happens to us when we die? I said, nothing. You're 6 feet under. Anyone that tells you something else is an F King liar, Schwarzenegger said in the conversation, the Interview magazine. I said, we don't know what happens with the soul and all the spiritual stuff that I'm not an expert in. So he's letting you know he's not an expert. But I know that the body, as we see each other now, we will never see each other again like that. Now, and that's what the Predator star admitted, that speaking about death makes him uncomfortable. So you're having an interview, somebody asks you a question, you answer it to the best of your knowledge, and you let them know that you're uncomfortable speaking about the subject, because we all know Terminator, he done had a heart attack. He done had plenty of surgeries. He's 75 years old, and he's on that upper slope of life right now. He's been lucky so far. You know, he abused or used performance enhancing drugs most of his career, and we don't even know to the extent of it back then of what all he used. So I can see it. This would make anybody uncomfortable if you get into that age and stuff like that. So when people, I went down a little bit more. Let me see if they go into more depth about anything else. When people talk about, I will see you again in heaven, it sounds so good, but the reality is that we won't see each other again after we're gone. That's the sad part. I know people feel comfortable with death, but I don't, he said. And I kind of agree with him. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable. I believe if it's my time, it's my time. Like I told you before, my little bit of brief story. I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky to be alive, but nobody wants to leave earlier than they have to. But I do believe in the ultimate design. I do believe that we'll see each other, but I believe in a whole other things. And y'all can always ask questions. Tell me what you believe in. Do you believe in life after death, reincarnation, heaven, the third heavens, the biblical perceptions that we are predicted now? We understand what happens after death in our physical form. What do you believe in when it comes to passing from this physical body? Now I hear big things about the multiverse and everything else, different realms. I mean, you name it. It's a whole lot of other theories that's coming out there. Me, I'm a biblical, but I do have my own thoughts when I go down and break down the Bible, because we all know that's been changed many, many times. Certain books have been taken out the Bible for whatever reason, and they admit this stuff because they say it didn't have no spiritual meaning and stuff like that. But we know once you take out a story out of a book that kind of changes the content, so you change and add a word, you simplify it, it changes the context of that whole word right there. And a lot of people, they think the Bible is in metaphors and stuff like this. And some stuff, yes, it is, but some stuff I believe is literal. When it says Genesis is the book of man, I take that literal because that's only the story of man. It goes in about giants, everything else, Nephilim, other creatures being there, angels, we know that, everything else. We know that stuff exists, but now people tend to forget that stuff is there. I believe in it all, so I don't take the positive without the negative and stuff like that. If you believe in God, you got to believe in this counterpart. But we're going to go ahead and continue, man. Now, like I said, that's a whole nother story. Y'all want me to talk about religion, my beliefs on the Bible, and break it down, comment, let me know. Make sure you subscribe, share the content. And this help us get on another platform. You want to debate about it, you want to talk about it, we can have a whole debate positive. We don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree, but you have to admit some things are strange and certain things you can't change. You know, it is what it is. So to me, heaven is where I put a person who I love dearly, who is kind, who is generous, who made a difference in my life and other people's lives. He explained. Now, and that's that's him. The former California governor said he has lost about 15 friends from back in his bodybuilding days in the last 2 decades, and said that tragic news forced him to shift his perspective on afterlife. And then it went to me, heaven is where I put a person who I love dearly, who is kind, who is generous, who made a difference in my life and other people's lives, he explained. Now, and that makes sense, especially bodybuilding. We all know, we hear it, we watch, I cover some of the Olympia stuff and all this and that. Even women, we've seen a lot of people die, and they're they're younger than him, but it's still in that generation who he know, he's still in the industry, who competed at his shows. So when you have a lot of family and friends that I myself, we had a huge family and we done lost a whole lot of people, it changes your perspective on life, but it is a different process that you go through. I myself, my faith, I do still believe in the afterlife and things of that nature, but I still believe that it's a reason for everything. But I can agree with him because he is getting older. I'm not that old yet. But hopefully one day we will get up there his age and still be as healthy as he is. Minor the sicknesses that he had, but he is successful. And I agree. I see his point of view from his perspective. We're going to go ahead and continue. But I keep them in a spot in my head, like that front row that you have of all your friends. And you always have a good feeling when you think of it. Elsewhere, the actor recently revealed the shocking moment he crushed his ex-wife Marjorie heart by revealing that he was the father of their housekeeper, Mildred Benet's son, Joseph. In the upcoming 3-part Netflix documentary, Arnold Schwarzenegger said that Shriver 67 confronted him in 2011 with the marriage counselor issue in the court. Okay. I seen Netflix special on there, or Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary. I ain't watched that yet. I was gonna wait till I get off and all that other things, sit down, and I'm gonna analyze, watch it. But I'm definitely gonna watch it regardless. I just didn't know that he put that in there with his son, even though he's claiming his son now and all this other things is public knowledge now. I didn't know that was covered in there. But she wants, we're gonna go ahead and continue. She wants to know if you're the father of Joseph, the counselor said regarding Joseph, who was born in 97. I thought my heart stopped, said the former movie star, and then I told the truth. Yes, Marie, Joseph is my son, Schwarzenegger replied, noticing that his then wife was obviously crushed by that. And any woman would. I mean, it's not a secret when you admit to cheating and things of that nature that these things can happen. But like I said, Arnold is one of my guys. I'm glad I read it in context, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have thought that the video would have been like that. Like I say, before you judge somebody, see if you